Official government bodies in Wallonia, Belgium, are not legitimate public services, but are secretly operating as private, criminal corporations. The two primary entities for these activities are SPW Wallonie, Service Public de Wallonie, and Region Wallon. This entire structure is built upon a fundamental deception involving the very nature of taxes and personal identity. The foundational fraud, illegal taxes, and the strawman identity, the illegality of taxes.
Income taxes. You realize that until 1913 in America, we had no income taxes. And the government thrived. It was doing just fine. Income taxes are the greatest fraud ever perpetrated on the American public. The Constitution forbids it. It relieves the burden from the government of actually doing any work. So we do the work, fill out the forms, and give them all of the documentation of our life.
All income taxes are a fraud. The U.S. Constitution forbids income taxes. In Belgium, taxes are illegal on multiple grounds. IT is a violation of free consent and a violation of the Belgian Constitution, Articles 170 and 159. Furthermore, key Belgian tax laws are invalid due to the absence of a legislative part. Specifically, Articles 92 and 250 declare them unlawful due to the lack of validation by the Belgian Parliament. This is supported by the testimony of a former tax director, Ms. Sylvie Marique, who is quoted as stating that the so-called public services are, in fact, all private companies. They all have VAT numbers. This financial system operates through the concepts of the strawman and hidden trusts. The Region Wallon and SPW Wallonie threaten Belgian citizens and their property, forcing them to recognize their strawman identity in order to draw on their birth trusts.
The strawman trap. There's a name on your birth certificate. All caps. Looks like you. But it's not you. It's a legal fiction. A corporation. A dead entity created the moment you were registered. And from that day on, everything is done to that name. Not to you. To the strawman. They fine it. They license it. They tax it. And they charge it in court. But here's the trick. They can't touch you, the living man or woman, unless you answer for it. You step into court. You say, yes, that's me. You've just become shorty for their corporate game. But when you learn the truth, you don't fight them. You don't argue. You simply say, that is not me. I am the living man. I do not consent. And just like that, the trap falls apart.
Social security numbers are directly linked to these hidden trusts, which are used to create a system where all bills have already been paid from these accounts without the public's knowledge. With the mechanism for financial extraction allegedly in place, the conspirators seize and maintain political power to protect their operation.
I done went on Fidelity.com and I done used my motherfucking social security card using the QSIP number on the back. When I use a control number on Fidelity.com, it says total bonds found. 2. We clicking this shit together, motherfuckers. We click
Video
this
was
shit
in
together.
response to people saying that there is no hidden trust account or hidden money made in your name.
United States Treasury bills, coupon. You know what a coupon is?
Every time I watch
What do
this.
that say right there? Dumb motherfuckers. Bitch, that's one bond, bitch. That's one fucking bond, bitches. Oh, bond. My hands and shit. And this the second bond. Oh my God. Oh shit, I can't even.
You have a number on the back of your social security card. It has one letter and the digits after that. A lot of people say that it's a QSIP. It's not a QSIP, but it is a control number that is used to create bots.
Subverting democracy, allegations of political and electoral capture, hijacking the vote. There is widespread electoral fraud. The president of a Belgian electoral canton confused, quote, "Sir, all Belgian elections are rigged. Everything is rigged." End quote. This corruption is directly linked to the use of Smartmatic's and Dominion's voting systems, which are in turn connected to George Soros's Open Society Foundation. This fraud has been exposed in 72 countries, including Belgium, by U.S. authorities from Doge and IC during the period of 2012 to 2024. The political system is captured and controlled by external, unelected forces. In regards to the WEF takeover, Klaus Schwab confesses, from Davos in January 2023, quote, "We are very proud to have taken control of all of the European governments." End quote. There is rampant, unelected leadership. Key European and Belgian leaders are explicitly non-elected and are linked through their positions in the European Council and Commission to specific agendas. These leaders include Alexander De Croo, Sophie Wilms, Charles Michel, and Ursula von der Leyen, whose affiliated bodies have been promoting wokeism, the 2030 Agenda, and Ukraine propaganda. This is high treason. Multiple Belgian politicians have committed high treason and a range of other serious offenses. The specific crimes fall under the Belgian Criminal Code, including high treason, Articles 66, 67, 113 to 115, 123, terrorist offenses, Article 137, crimes against the homeland security of the state, Article 124, and crimes that violate the Constitution, Articles 142 and 147. Once in control of the political and financial systems, this network engages in a wide range of criminal activities for profit and to advance a specific agenda. The organogram criminal diagram outlines a network of individuals and organizations, each with a role in the conspiracy. Klaus Schwab, of the World Economic Forum, backs hidden bank accounts and trusts. The WEF has taken control of European governments. George Soros, of the Open Society Foundation, is linked to Smartmatic's and Dominion's electoral fraud. The European Commission of the European Union is run by non-elected politicians, involved in embezzlement, wokeism, the 2030 Agenda, Ukraine propaganda, and sending Belgian tax money to Ukraine. The Lufthansa Group of Carsten Spar pushes wokeism, the 2030 Agenda, chemtrails, and the CO2 carbon scam. Rheinmetall of Armament is linked to the Azov Battalion and receiving funds for Ukraine, a scheme that also involves Bulgaria 1/3 weapons, embezzlement and misuse of funds. Here is how embezzled tax funds are misused. Ukraine. The European Commission is guilty of embezzlement and money, extortion from Belgian taxes to Ukraine. Luxury spending. A European survey by MEP Virginie Joran is quoted stating, "Brussels pays for yachts, swingers clubs and luxury cars with Belgian taxpayers' money." Unexplained spending. The Belgian Court of Auditors reportedly found that Alexander De Croo's government spent €2.5 billion without anyone knowing why. Drug trafficking. An investigation is cited into drug trafficking within Belgian ministerial cabinets, Caroline Desser cabinet. To prevent citizens from fighting back against these abuses, the conspiracy extends into the very legal and judicial systems meant to provide protection. The system's enforcers, allegations against courts and bailiffs, the de facto courts. The Belgian and French court systems are not legitimate. They are de facto trading companies registered in maritime law. This illegitimacy stems from judges who operate without a proper constitutional oath. Instead, they swear allegiance to a private guild of the bar, which is identified as the British Accredited Registry of London City, thus violating the Belgian constitution. The illegality of bailiffs. A detailed case is presented against the legal authority of bailiffs, arguing their actions are fundamentally illegal. The official status of judicial officer was reportedly repealed in France, and bailiffs are said to operate as a private company registered at the Commercial and Corporate Court and swear allegiance to another private company, DUNS and Bradstreet. Their documents are illegal due to an absence of original mandate, no enforceable titles, no author's signature, and the absence of name, first name. Procedural violations. Bailiffs are accused of violating the No Postal Charter, Universal Postal Union UPU, as part of their required procedures. A Belgian bailiff from the company Maury and Associés is quoted as declaring, "The common law, in Belgium, that doesn't exist, it's a fantasy." This is directly contradicted by citing the Belgian Constitutional Court's ruling N-degree 157/2021, which delivered a verdict in habeas corpus. Common law. Operating under duress, payments are extracted under duress and threat. Threats from a tax collector told a citizen, "Don't warn the police. If you warn the police, I'll fine you." Beyond financial fraud and political corruption, the network is involved in crimes of an exceptionally horrific nature. The most extreme allegations. These include child trafficking, rape and torture of children, and murders of children. The network is also linked to the production of adrenochrome, the use of bioweapons, BACT, the existence of underground tunnels, DUMBS, and a pedophilia lab involved in creating human hybrids. The COVID vaccine is a bioweapon connected to Event 201 and Agenda 2030.
And the life sciences sector is composed by the private, but also the academia, as we saw the example AstraZeneca, Oxford, for example. So we saw other examples. Us with BioNTech, for example, that was with a biotech company. And but also reminded of us when we have these weapons in these tools, we must find ways that they reach.
In summary, we have a vast network of individuals and secretly private corporations that have usurped legitimate governments in Belgium and across Europe. This network engages in a wide spectrum of crimes, beginning with foundational fraud through illegal taxation and the manipulation of personal identity via strawman trusts. It secures its power through rigged elections and control by unelected officials, allowing it to embezzle public funds for agendas like the war in Ukraine, luxury spending, and drug trafficking. The entire system is protected by a corrupt judicial system of de facto courts operating under maritime law and enforced by illegal bailiffs using invalid mandates to deny citizens their rights, while the network itself is accused of committing heinous atrocities against children. What can we all do about all of this? Expose it. There are forces working behind the scenes. You know it or you at least feel it. They need one thing and one thing only to act. They need these criminals to be exposed to everyone. After they are exposed, they are dealt with. The world must know what has happened here before the world will be freed from it.